An inquiry into youth violence has failed to make any recommendations about two of the main causes of it, drugs and alcohol. The results of the federal government investigation were due to be released tomorrow. But today, the ABC discovered the full report online, 24 hours before the official launch.
More than 70% of young people surveyed as part of the inquiry think physical violence is increasing and getting more severe. They blame drugs and alcohol, so do the police, but neither is mentioned in any of the 13 recommendations.
Ultimately, things that could make a difference, such as the liquor licensing laws, that they just weren't featured in it at all. So that was a surprising gap on the whole.
The 13-month-long inquiry looked into the link between drug and alcohol use and violence, bullying and strategies to reduce violence. There were around 80 submissions. In many, alcohol was a recurring theme.
We've got to keep people out of hospitals, and part of that is actually investing in prevention. And if we're going to address alcohol-related harm, that's one way to actually do that.
In a major embarrassment for the federal government, the inquiry's report appeared online for just 2 hours this afternoon. It's not meant to be released until tomorrow. Among the inquiry's 13 recommendations are calls for a survey to measure the extent of youth violence, more counselling services for school students, positive social media campaigns to combat antisocial behaviour, and possible changes to media violence classifications.
I think that's a great starting point. I mean, it's a very difficult thing getting classifications right, and I do think it's time that we had a bit of a look at whether we need to do some changes.
Inquiry Chair, retiring Labor MP Annette Ellis, says the committee found youth violence is on the rise and there's not one specific reason. She says drugs and alcohol weren't ignored by the inquiry, but are being more thoroughly addressed by the Council of Australian Governments. Rebecca Barrett, ABC News.